11 Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
We're coming on the air tonight with breaking news out of Jackson County. A man known throughout the community of Jackson gunned down in the middle of town. This man being identified as 72-year-old Calvin Varnum. Tonight we're learning more about him while the search is on at this hour for whomever pulled the trigger. 11 Alive's Teresa Bowles joins us now live from Commerce with what we know at this hour.
Jeff, Varnum was shot here outside of this Hardee's. Check out some of the damage to that restaurant. This is near where he would wave hello to everyone who passed by, and the community is devastated. Loved ones say Varnum would walk with a walking stick, grab a Coke, and eat at local restaurants all the time. Commerce police say around 7:30 this morning, Varnum was standing on the sidewalk in front of the restaurant on Homer Road. Chief Kenneth Harmon, tells us that the shooter drove up and talked with Varnum. Then Varnum was shot at least 5 times, and the shooter sped off. Varnum later died at the hospital. The Hardee's was left with bullet holes. Police say they feel this was targeted and that Varnum is a good Samaritan. It's Commerce Police's first homicide of the year, and the community who had gotten used to Varnum's greetings are at a loss.
Did somebody not take the time to get to know him, and did they just do this for no reason? And if they did know him, how could you know that man and hurt him? How could you hurt him like that?
Police are still looking for more information on the suspect. There will be a vigil for Varnum in a couple of hours across the street from that Hardee's. If you know anything, you're asked to reach out to Commerce Police. Live in Commerce, Teresa Bowles, 11 Alive News.
Right now, Commerce Police asking for your help in tracking down a vehicle believed to have been involved. You see it there, taken from surveillance video. It's a dark blue Dodge Journey. It was last seen driving north on Homer Road away from the downtown Commerce area. If you can help out, call Commerce Police, 706 the area code, and 335-1847. Happening today, the funeral for Nirvana Genesis Oliver, the 1-year-old who drowned earlier this month in a Sandy Springs pond. Nirvana was expected to turn 2 years old next month. Her family and supporters gathered today at Legacy Chapel in Jonesboro to honor her memory. Nirvana's mother, Asia Calabrese Lewis, now standing accused of murder. A shooting early this morning near Buckhead Village, sending 2 people to the hospital just before 3 a.m. in a parking lot along Peachtree Road, where it intersects with Roswell Road. We are told tonight by APD that the 2 men who were shot were friends trying to break up a fight at that time. One man shot in the stomach. The other man was shot in the leg, both taken to Grady for treatment. They are expected to survive. APD says the person who opened fire ran from the scene and at last check is not in custody. To keep yourself updated on breaking news when it happens, download the 11 Alive app. It's free in the App Store. On to meteorologist Nicole Hartford. Another day in late May and a little bit cooler. We are most welcome and most appreciative.
And it is going to get even cooler as we move into the start of the week. I mean, today was beautiful. We enjoyed a little sunshine, some cloud cover. This is our view right now out towards Rome, where we're seeing some of those clouds, and then also from the perimeter looking north towards the King and the Queen, where it is a picturesque afternoon, and it will be a really nice evening. Now, we have seen temperatures still on the warm side, a little below average, right around 79 degrees in Atlanta, and we got up to some low 80s today. But those temperatures are going to be getting much lower as we go into Monday and Tuesday. The reason is a cold front. The cold front moved through yesterday. It brought that line of showers and storms. Today, we didn't really feel much of an impact when it comes to our temperatures, but that cooler air will slowly continue to filter in as that front stalls down towards our south. It's also close enough that we're still seeing a couple spotty areas of rainfall across far north Georgia, and I'm not going to rule out an isolated shower as we continue through the evening and overnight tonight. Most of us, though, will end up staying dry. Your morning commute tomorrow, pretty similar story. Stray showers possible, but for most of us, don't really have to worry about that rainfall to start off the day. Temperatures tomorrow morning get down into the mid to low 60s across the area, but temperatures in the afternoon only warm up about 10 degrees, and it gets even cooler by Tuesday. I'll have those details coming up.
Within the last 2 weeks, we've seen several shootings around Metro Atlanta, which have garnered many headlines. And we have talked to those who have lost loved ones as a result. However, there is another group of victims, those who are uninjured, but the damage is emotional. All new tonight, Latasha Givens talked with homeowners in Lithonia who say that their homes have been shot at over the last few months. They feel like they're lucky to be alive, and now they are demanding some change, some solutions. It is a story you'll only see tonight on 11 Alive.
The homeowners we talked to say they've been very concerned about the recent shootings all around the metro, but now those shootings have made their way to their front door. Literally, they're empty nesters who've lived in their home for 30 years with no connection to crime, so they have no idea why someone will want to shoot at their house.
I heard a loud noise, and then I heard glass breaking, and I said to my husband, "What's that?" And he says, "That's gunshot." But by the time he said that, one came through the front door.
And then I said, "They're shooting up the house, they're shooting up the house." But I was still sitting here.
Judith and Everton Edwards say they narrowly missed bullets whizzing through their home on what was otherwise a quiet Monday night.
When the bullet come through, I just feel the wind pass my back.
They say their home was sprayed with bullets at every turn on both levels. The Edwards say they called police and were asked if any teens live with them. And after stating no, the Edwards say police said it was likely a case of mistaken identity. But they're not the only elderly couple in Lithonia to report their homes being shot at in recent months for no reason they can explain. These are pictures from a home in the Fairways community in Lithonia where bullets pierced through the window, the door, and the sides of their home. These shell casings were left out front. And in the Brookcrest community in Decatur, older homeowners sent 11 Alive pictures showing bullets that came flying in through their front door and some hitting their vehicle parked outside.
It made me feel pretty angry about it, pretty angry. We need to do something, so, you know.
They don't care about killing somebody. They don't even know the people's house they're shooting up.
And we reached out to police to get more information on these cases, but homeowners tell us they don't believe these cases are connected. Right now, they're just frustrated and afraid that the shootings could continue, and next time it could be worse. In DeKalb County, I'm Latasha Givens, 11 Alive News.
Happening tomorrow, we will learn what an independent autopsy discovered surrounding the death of LaShawn Thompson. The 35-year-old man died in September while being kept inside Fulton County Jail. His death was notable as it's alleged that he was eaten by insects, bedbugs. The autopsy findings will be made public during a news event at the state capitol. Members of Thompson's family, along with civil rights attorney, the noted Ben Crump, and Georgia NAACP President Gerald Griggs are expected to be there in attendance as well. We'll have coverage for you tomorrow on air and online. Caps and gowns were the attire today for two of Atlanta's HBCUs. Morehouse College marked its 139th commencement today. During the ceremony, the Legacy School celebrated its 3 valedictorians along with its large graduating class. Today's commencement speech came from Maryland Governor Wes Moore. Last year, the Democrat became his state's first ever black governor, and he used his remarks to deliver a simple message to the grads.
You must learn the path, because our future depends on it. In 100 years from now, a new generation of Morehouse men will be gathered right here, preparing to take their next steps. And the trail in front of them is going to be pioneered by you. You will be the rocks that they will stand on.
Hours ago, Spelman College marks its 136th commencement. This year's graduating class of 468 students included 4 valedictorians, a salutatorian, and also many more high-achieving graduates from all across the country. Among those receiving honorary degrees today were actress Tracy Ellis Ross and Pulitzer Prize-winning writer Nicole Hannah-Jones. We have more news coming your way. House Republicans said they won't lift the debt ceiling unless President Biden agrees to cut spending. But when we come back, we will examine whether the Republicans made the same demands when a Republican was in the White House. Stay with us. Happening tomorrow, President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy expected to resume talks tied to the debt ceiling. The two spoke by phone earlier today as the president was returning from the G7 meeting in Japan. Speaker McCarthy says their conversation productive, but adds that no one has reached any common ground as of yet. The back and forth over raising the debt ceiling has been fueled with much political rancor. House Republicans now say they won't raise it without also cutting federal spending. But Casey Decker with our Verified team answers whether Republicans made the same demands when one of their own was president.
The Treasury Department is running out of money to pay the bills Congress already authorized, and it needs to borrow more. But it can't do that unless Congress raises the debt ceiling. Republicans who control the House say they won't vote to do that unless the bill also comes with severe spending cuts, a proposal President Biden has rejected. Verify viewer Andy heard that when Trump was president, Republicans lifted the debt ceiling multiple times without any strings attached. So let's verify. Did congressional Republicans vote to lift the debt ceiling without spending cuts during the Trump administration? Our sources are the Treasury Department, the Congressional Research Service, the Bipartisan Policy Center, the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, and the American Presidency Project at UC Santa Barbara. The debt ceiling was lifted 3 times when Trump was president, once in 2017, 18, and 19. But each time, Congress didn't vote to raise the limit by a specific amount the way they usually do. Instead, they voted to suspend the debt ceiling altogether. This allowed the Treasury to borrow money at will. Then, when the suspension was over, a new ceiling was automatically installed based on how much the Treasury borrowed in the interim. As a result, the debt ceiling rose by several $1 trillion during Trump's term. So did any of those suspensions come with spending cuts like the ones Republicans are calling for now? They didn't. Some of these budgets included spending offsets, but our sources said they were mostly budget gimmicks rather than serious cuts, and they had little impact on actual spending. So we can verify, yes, during the Trump administration, congressional Republicans voted multiple times to lift the debt ceiling without spending cuts. Since 1960, the debt ceiling has been raised 78 times, 49 times under a Republican president and 29 times under a Democrat. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
All right, on to the weather. Meteorologist Nicole Hartford is with us on this Sunday evening for a look at what we can expect.
And it is a quiet evening. You know, we're enjoying a little sun, some cloud cover, some comfortable temperatures, and so far, very little rainfall. A few spotty showers have tried to develop on our radar, but there's just not really much going on right now across North Georgia. And that's good news, considering there's a cold front stalled just down towards our south. This is the front that came through yesterday and brought our showers and storms late yesterday evening, and now it's just kind of hanging out across portions of South Georgia. And as it sits there, it will continue to bring rainfall across portions of the state, and some of those may even push up into our area as we move into Monday and Tuesday. So showers and storms will primarily develop down towards our southeast, but some of those will start to push up northward. Overnight tonight, a couple isolated showers possible, but overall not a lot going on. You'll wake up tomorrow morning to perhaps a few areas of light rainfall, but I think your morning commute on Monday does look primarily dry. Then as the day progresses, we'll watch as those isolated showers and perhaps a couple storms develop. Storm chances are a little bit higher down towards the southwest of the Atlanta metro area, closer to where that cold front is actually sitting. And that's where we'll also see some darker reds indicating heavier rainfall on our forecast track as well. For most of us, this is not really going to result in much rainfall accumulation. It's certainly one of those days that you may want to have an umbrella with you if you're going to be outdoors, but most of us are not going to have to use it. These isolated showers, a couple stray storms, will continue into the afternoon and evening, as well as overnight Monday night and into early Tuesday morning. It's pretty much just isolated activity over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. Some of those could produce some heavy rainfall, but most of them are going to stay light. We're capping those rain chances at about 30% for the Atlanta area, which does mean that not all of us are going to see rainfall either Monday or Tuesday. Those 30% rain chances stick around for both days, and then we dry out for Wednesday and Thursday as we move into the middle of the week. We'll bring back more sunshine for your forecast as well. In addition to the rainfall potential with that cold front, there is also some cooler air. So we've been sitting technically below average just by a couple degrees, but this front stalled towards the south is bringing in that cooler air to start off the week. We'll still wake up to mild temperatures tomorrow morning, but highs will only climb into the mid to upper 70s by tomorrow afternoon. That's not a dramatic difference from where we were today. Couple degrees cooler, not necessarily chilly, but still further below average. And then by Tuesday, those overnight lows fall into the 50s and low 60s, and our afternoon highs only climb up to 70 degrees. So Tuesday is going to be the coolest day. We'll rebound from the somewhat cooler weather pretty quickly, though. Highs are back up into the low 80s by Thursday, and your 7-day outlook honestly looks fantastic. Yes, we do have that chance for some rainfall on Monday and Tuesday, but aside from perhaps a little heavy rain at times, I don't really think that's going to get in your way of your day too much unless it catches you during either the morning or the evening commute. Wednesday and Thursday look great, and then we bring back a low and rain chance by Friday and Saturday.
All right, coming up in sports, Braves looking to get a series win this afternoon in Game 3 against the M's. It would be one of their young players that would shine. Reggie Chapman with the highlights when we come back.
Welcome back, everybody. As the Braves continue to weather the storm of injuries that have plagued their starting pitching this year, the young guys stepping up will continue to be huge. Sunday starter, 23-year-old southpaw Jared Schuster making his 4th career start, and he was solid in his last outing, going 5 innings. Today, he got some run support early. The Ronald Acuna Jr. Matt Olson 1-2 punch continues to be potent. Down the line, here comes Ronnie on his horse all the way around, hits the gritty actually heading to the plate, and it's 1-0 Braves, 7 innings or 7 pitches into the bottom of the first. To the second now, clean first inning for Schuster. The second inning, a bit of a mistake. Jared Kelenic deep to right field. Acuna watches it fly into the seats. We've got a tie game at 1, but Schuster will respond well. Strikes out Eugenio Suarez for out number 1. Got a fly out for the second out before telling A.J. Pollock to sit down. Strike 3. This one would stay tied, bottom 3. Eddie Rosario with runners on, pokes his ball into center field. Matt Olson scores, and the Braves retake a 2-1 lead. So we now head to the 6th. Reigning AL Rookie of the Year, Julio Rodriguez at the dish, so Schuster sends him back to the bench. Schuster went 6 innings. That home run that you saw earlier was the only hit he allowed and the only run he allowed all game long. In the bottom half, Travis d'Arnaud, his first home run since September of last year. Insurance runs are always good, and so is Raisel Iglesias, the closer who continues to shine. 3 up, 3 down, and closes things out. Braves win 3-2. Let's hear from the Braves starter, Jared Schuster.
Much better, just trusting myself and trusting the catchers and trusting everyone behind me. Being down in AAA, just work on some stuff and get right. I think feel much more comfortable now, so I'm happy with how things are going.
It was awesome. I mean, I was really impressive what he did.
Kid's an absolute star. By the way, we're just days away from the Falcons returning to the field as OTAs get underway on Tuesday. 3 days of OTA. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. With all your coverage from out there in Flowery Branch all week long. Meanwhile, starting quarterback Desmond Ridder got his arm loose on Sunday, throwing out the first pitch ahead of the game you just saw over at Truist Park. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles this weekend, another look at Falcons' first-round running back Bijan Robinson. He is going to be an absolute star. He was also on hand for the NFLPA Rookie Premiere, where fellow rookies wore their jerseys for a photo shoot for Panini trading cards. Now, Robinson is wearing that famous number 7 and talked a little about the moment that it looks like when he gets a chance to put this jersey on.
When I put this on, I represent a brand, I represent a city, a state, so I'm representing so many people and so many things when I put this uniform on and off the field. So now that I'm seeing myself in it, and to see all the great players that wore this number before me, those are just great players that represented themselves on the field the right way. So I'm trying to do the exact same.
Now, Bijan said wearing the number 7 is actually a biblical thing, and he got a chance to wear it thanks to Younghoe Koo and also Michael Vick, who the team told him actually approved for him to get the number. That's it for sports. Thanks for watching. More news after commercial break.
Ahead for us, the ex-Marine accused of murdering a homeless man on a New York City subway now speaking out to defend what he did, and how workers are fighting the Sunday scaries by trying to make Monday a little easier. That's ahead on Nightly News.
Isolated showers will be possible again on Monday. Perhaps a couple storms, especially down towards the southwest of the Atlanta metro. I know this Monday planner makes it look like kind of doom and gloom all day, but it won't be. Those rain chances only 30%. Our temperatures are going to stay a little cooler tomorrow. We'll only get up into the mid 70s, and then we'll top out near 70 degrees on Tuesday. So we're certainly cooling down for the start of the week, but it's going to be short-lived. Highs will climb back up to the low 80s by Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday both look fantastic as we dry out, bring in a little bit more sunshine as well.
The storms of life. This too shall pass, right?
It shall.
Very nice. Very nice. We're full of it, aren't we? See you tonight at 11.